majority of politicians, they support most of these foreigners to hijack these buildings.
Hijacked buildings have become a major problem in the city of Johannesburg, with more than 600 properties recorded to be hijacked by criminals in the inner city alone.
If you're a property owner owning this building and you've got tenants no longer paying no longer paying your rent for this building, if you're gonna run to the police, you'll be wasting your time, because there's nothing that police are gonna do. Since the government, they've dismantled their powers, there's nothing that police can do.
How's it, my brother?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
I'm good.
I'm all good.
You just told me your name, Skora.
Yeah, he's Skora.
What does it mean?
He's Skora. He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, in his case, it is Skora.
Yeah, you look like a soldier. Were you a soldier at some point?
No. I've never been a soldier, but I've done a lot of things. I've done a lot of things behind the military line. Let me put it that way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why I do what I do.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Please tell me what you do and why do you do what you do?
Okay. Basically, I'm into eviction. I'm the leader of Jozi Eviction Team. And under Jozi Eviction Team, we started doing evictions like a long time ago, I think from 2005. We're doing evictions, especially around Joburg, where in times where mostly this thing of building hijacking or property hijacking, it was becoming more common. And that's why now I was concerned about more people who were highly stressed about losing of properties. And around the times, that's why now Jozi Eviction Team was born. Because Jozi Eviction Team was born through people. People, they called us Jozi Eviction Team because we're giving them back their properties. So that's how I started doing what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing evictions.
You know, looking at people hijacking properties, we know there's a lot of properties, buildings in Joburg,
yes,
CBD, that are hijacked, you know.
Yes.
Even in the township, people can hijack a property.
Yes.
What leads to people eventually hijacking a property?
Okay, basically mostly people, they've got criminal mentality, let me put it that way. They've got criminal mentality whereby they will take advantage of your place. Especially if you are a soft landlord, you'll be in trouble. Let me say you've got a tenant who's been paying rent. Then eventually they stop paying rent. And that's how they start testing the waters. And as a landlord, if you're going to become too soft and you play according to their tune, sooner or later you're going to be crying because they won't be paying rent anymore. And this way now property hijacking begins, whereby a tenant becomes an illegal tenant. They're no longer paying rent to you. Then eventually, suddenly, when you come to your property, you will find out that under your property, there are now even some other people renting to the illegal tenant who was once your tenant. Now, an illegal tenant becomes a landlord right under your property. So this is the problem that we are facing, whereby majority of people, they are starting to have criminal mentality. And they start having this criminal mentality because of the law that we've got in SA. The law, 98% or 99%, it supports the illegal tenants rather than the landlord. You as a landlord is the victim, the law doesn't support you. You go to court, the court will be against you. You go to the police will be against you. So being a tenant in SA is very tough. I'm saying being a landlord in SA, it's very tough. Yeah, because, you buy a property thinking that you're going to do business under your property and you end up losing it all. So these are the problems that we are facing in SA. And our government, in fact, they are one of the majority as well who are behind property hijackings. You look at CBD, as a whole, when you are going for eviction, people that we find behind those property hijackings or building hijackings, majority of them, most of them, you found people from the government. You found people, especially nowadays, we've got a problem with the people from the EFF. Majority of people of the EFF, they are hijacking properties, they are hijacking the land. It doesn't matter what color you are, whether you are black or white is the same. You know, I've heard Malima one point of time saying that you see a beautiful land, you grab it. And most people, they upload that thinking that he's the black hero fighting for the blacks, but that's a lie. That man is not fighting for us. He doesn't fight for any black man. Because at the end of the day, Malima, the statement that he made, most of the majority of the black farmers, they lost their farms because of that statement. Majority of people who are owning plots, who are owning huge land, who are black, they've lost most of their properties because of that small statement. And behind the scene, people, they don't know what's happening in the ground. They only see the men on media talking and thinking like he's fighting for the majority, but he's not fighting for the majority. So both the majority and the minority, they both suffer. So that's why, like myself, there's nowhere on earth I can wake up and say that I'm gonna support EFF, because EFF is not fighting for the blacks. You know, you go to these buildings, majority of black people, they own these buildings. You know, I've got a lot of property owners who are black owning buildings in CBD, but yet they're suffering because of politicians like Malima behind, who supports things of property hijackings. So we are having a huge problem where we've got a political party supporting people to or motivating criminals to hijack people's properties. It doesn't matter what color it is, but this is completely wrong. Because, you know, we are living in a democratic country, and as a democratic country, we say that, you know, we don't look at a skin color. You know, whether you're black or white, you must be supported. But now, if you've got a party that only works at the interest of certain people, not all people, that is a completely wrong thing. Then we are not in a democratic country. Yeah, that's what I can say.
I'm just trying to understand, because in my own eyes, the buildings that are hijacked in Johannesburg CBD, obviously they are owned by black people or white people, whatever. But it's like the tenants that are in the buildings, they're not from South Africa.
Yes, there are a lot of, in fact, when it comes to these things of hijacking, you found both foreigners and locals. They work together. They don't separate each other. Most of the buildings, I've been to a lot of buildings that are hijacked by foreigners. And you check people behind those buildings, you find a lot of South African. That's why, like, I was talking about the politicians. Majority of politicians, they support most of these foreigners to hijack these buildings. They support most of these foreigners to hijack their properties. Majority of South Africans, they are behind it. And funny enough, majority of those, they are politicians. And this is where now we are having a big problem. Our politicians, they are criminals, big-time criminals, behind all of these property hijackings, building hijackings. We are having a problem of the politicians. Yeah, so to fix our country, I think we'll need to kick out majority of these politicians that we are supporting, because they are killing us. That's one thing I can say.
There's a land in Tembisa. You're from Tembisa?
Yes.
Rubberidge,
yes.
Just close to the police station. Yes. I don't know, the people that are watching, maybe they might know it.
Yeah.
There are shacks there.
Yeah.
A year ago, there were no shacks.
It has been forceful. In fact, last time they were evicted, then they forcefully came back again. They've taken over the place. And since they've taken, if you check, even if you want to go there, go from house to house, you'll find both locals and foreigners. They've forcefully taken that place. That's why now you will understand that both of these people, they are working together to ensure that they bring down this country. because that land, it's got its own private owners.
Wow.
But now, private owners, they will have to suffer because of certain leaders in our communities. We found some councillors who are supporting those people. We found some certain officers supporting those people. Then you found certain political parties supporting those people, especially the EFF. They are behind it. This is where now I'm having a problem. I'm having a problem whereby the political party will misuse their power to take over people's properties. I don't support such kind of a political party.
So I wanted to ask you, in regards to that land, specifically in Tembisa, did the government try to negotiate by any chance with the rightful owners? Or maybe the rightful owners, they lost the land because people decided to put...
The rightful owners, they've been fighting for their property. That's why, an order came out for those people to be evicted, and they were evicted. And the way they returned because of the local councillors. And they returned because of the politicians. That's why, I mainly speak about the EFF, because they are behind it a lot. And now you found certain members from the ANC as well, who are also criminals and who support such kind of things. So that's why I'm saying that if we can change our leaders in the community and we choose the rightful leaders, we will not have that kind of a problem where a person will see you've got a property and they will come and hijack your property. Because many times I've been experiencing such kind of things where politicians are misusing their power to grab people's properties by force. And they know that there's nothing you're going to do. You go to court, the court will not support you. You run to the local police station, there's nothing the police station will do. Because remember, police stations, powers have been taken away from them. And how power has been taken away from them, the government, they've dismantled their powers. There's nothing that they can do to help you.
I'm just thinking of something very interesting right now.
Yes.
I see a land in Tembisa. I'm like, that's a nice land. I get a bank to help me get the land.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'll pay you every month. I pay the bank every month. And people decide to get the land.
To come and grab it by force.
By force.
And it's not about people. You see, when you say people, it becomes broad. But it's not about people. It's about certain leaders. We are having problem with the leaders in the community. You will have leaders from certain political parties, especially the EFF and ANC. They are playing a big major role for property hijackings and land hijackings, land grabs, all of these things. They are playing a very major role. I can say that the main strikers on these things, and we are having a problem. That's why now I tend to ask, what kind of a community are we living under? Because it's like we support criminals. If there are criminals who promises us to go and grab somebody else's property by force, we support that kind of a criminal. We don't support the rightful leaders, because we've got rightful leaders in the community. We've got good leaders, but we don't need good leaders. We need leaders who've got criminal mentality, who do criminal elements. Such kind of leaders, they are highly supported. And we've got a problem with that. And that's why now I'm having a problem. And that land that you saw in Tembisa, we are having those kind of problems, whereby councillors, then certain politicians, higher politicians, they go and grab the land by force, or they grab the property by force. Then they come to social media, they'll be talking and saying that, no, we are fighting for our people. Which people are you talking about? You come and take a land from me, as your brother, as a black man as well. Then you give it to certain people. Then you say that you are fighting for us. That's a lie. That means you have killed the future of my kids. You have killed my future. You've killed all my investment in that land. So I tend to ask, which people are they fighting for? Because surely indeed, these people, they are criminals. They are criminals. So let me put it this way. Majority of the foreigners, that they are also hijacking the buildings and lands. They wouldn't have been doing so if we had good leaders We don't have good leadership in SA. And that's why it's very tough for some of us to go and vote. Yeah. You can never find me in the queue to go and vote. What am I voting for? Because we are voting for the same criminals that we see on the ground. The problem that if you are not on the ground, you will never see. But, most of us, we are always on the ground. Day in, day out, we are on the ground. We are fighting for majority of people to have back what belongs to them. And the people who are claiming that they are fighting for majority of these people, they are just devils. They are not fighting for the majority. They are fighting for their own pocket. And that's what they are doing. And majority of people that support these people, because they see them on social media, talking, about all sorts of intelligent thoughts that they can talk about how good they are.
Yeah.
But they are not fighting for us. They are fighting for their own pocket. So what are we voting for exactly? Mm-hmm. And this is where I struggle the most. Like last time, I remember I was in Cape Town doing evictions in Cape Town. When I was in Cape Town, it has become the most dirtiest place. Cape Town used to be very clean. You go in the street, you see these people sleeping alongside of the road. Mm. And politicians, they are motivating those people. There are certain people who are paid to be building those small plastic shacks in the street. They are paid monthly by certain politicians so that it's going to work in their own political interest. And I remember last time, I think you heard they say the DA mayor, I think he was trying to evict those people. Then certain politicians from the EFF and the ANC, they came through, and including the NGOs, saying that no, you cannot remove these people from the street. And if you check, most of those people who were trying to stop those evictions, they are paying those people to be sleeping there in the street. They are given food, they are given water, so that they must be sleeping there in the street to save their own political interest. Mm-hmm. They've got no care for the city. They've got no care for the people. And that's why a majority of us, some of us, it's very tough that you can find us on the queue of voting line saying that you are going to vote. Who are we voting for? Because we are voting for the same kind of criminals who are coming to destroy our cities, who are coming to grab our land by force, who are coming also to take our properties by force. So it's very tough that I can say that I'm going to go and vote. It's very tough.
A person owns a building like this one,
yes,
right? And there's multiple tenants that they don't want to pay rent. Wesley, they don't want to go, right? And the owner of the property can easily call the cops on these people, can easily maybe speak to, the lawyer and stuff like that. I'm just trying to understand, how do you come in taking out these people out?
Okay, remember, as a property owner, let me say you're owning this building. If you're a property owner owning this building and you've got tenants no longer paying no longer paying your rent for this building, if you're gonna run to the police, you'll be wasting your time, because there's nothing that police are gonna do. Since the government, they've dismantled their powers, there's nothing that police can do. And you go to certain attorneys. Attorneys, they're gonna enjoy sucking money from your pocket, since you're gonna be going year in, year out into the courts, fighting just to get an eviction order, to evict these people. And remember, when you get that eviction order, you're only 100% sure that these people will be evicted. That's why now you will find certain political leaders in the community. They will come and ensure that these people, they don't come out. And now you need to take back your case to court again. Well, we've got the eviction order. This is when now we come through. And when we come through, we make sure that indeed we evict these people. We evict the people and we make sure that we guard your property. Sometimes most people, they've said that, we work above the law. Mm. I think according to SA, the way it is, you need to be above the law. Because if you're not above the law, you're going to have a problem. You're going to lose these buildings. Without people like us, majority of these buildings, they'll be lost in SA. And we fight with the law. and the law is fighting against us. The more they fight against us, the more we fight against them. And how do we fight against them? By making sure that property owners, they get back their properties. And that's our business. We ensure that property owners, they get back their properties.
What's the worst thing that you've seen when you guys are doing your job?
The worst things that we do normally experience, fake, I can't say the worst, but it's a common thing. Yeah. Just like, I'm still talking about the politicians.
Yeah.
We do find the majority of politicians coming into a property, trying to prevent the eviction from happening.
Sure.
And most of the time, we need to use force.
Why would you guys have order?
When you've got order, they will come and fight against it. But this is where now our job becomes more interesting, because sometimes you need to discipline certain people to ensure that property owners, they get back their properties. And that's what we do. We use whatever it takes. We do whatever it takes to ensure that people, they get back their properties.
It's a lot, man. That's a lot.
If you are on the ground, when it comes to property, we are in the war ground. It's a war, big war, because we are just a minority group fighting against the majority group, just to ensure that you get back what belongs to you. And this is where the problem is at. This is, I do evictions, evicting people, and you get certain leaders who will come where we are doing the evictions at, will come onto the property. And these leaders, they will not care whether you've got a title deed or not. They will not care. They will not care whether you've got an eviction order or not. They will not care. They will need to do their criminal element so that they will take your property by force. And us, in our profession, we've got our own tactics. We always make sure that we surely give you back what belongs to you.
Yeah.
Where they say you must offer an alternative place, where they say that sometime, you must give that person 3 months notice, and also alternative place. If you check that law very, very, very well, after 1994, it was mostly drafted by criminals who are now alert or awake, who started hijacking people's properties. It was never drafted by an innocent citizen. Because if I'm an innocent citizen, there is no way I will tell you that, this person that you are evicting, you must find this person an alternative place. Remember, you've got your own family as well. If I tell you that you must find this person an alternative place, where are you going to take your kids at? Does it mean that you and your kids must be homeless? Let me put it, I remember about few months ago, not so long ago, just right here in Maboneng, there's an eviction that I did. The owner of that building is an Indian man, but I will not state his name. I did an eviction for him. You cannot believe it. That man, he was already sleeping inside of the car. He had no place to go and stay. He had no home. He lost everything because of that one building. He lost everything. He was sleeping inside of his car. He didn't have a home anymore. In fact, he was homeless. He's been to the courts. He never got any help. He's been almost everywhere. He didn't get any help. And when we came through, we evicted all the illegal occupants who were there. And the problems that we faced the same politicians who came on the scene to come and fight against what we're doing. We get the NGOs and all of these people. And we're to ensure that we discipline these people who comes on the scene, just to make sure that the property owner gets back what belongs to him. So today the man is highly grateful of what we have done. He's get back his building. The man is back on his feet. He's back on business. So without people like us, majority will continue to suffer. And that's why before 2005, buildings and property hijackings, they were high in Joburg, very high. But when we came through, since 2005, things have been getting much better. That's one thing I can say.
Do you wish the government could work with you, or that's impossible?
We do wish for the government to work with us. Government is good, but people in the government, they are bad. People in the government, they can never want to work with guys like us, because they know that we're going to take bread out of their mouth. These buildings, it belongs to people. I'm saying not it belongs to people, but these buildings is hijacked by people working in the government system. So people in the government system, if they're working with us, they know for sure, 100%, that they're going to lose all of this building. That's why, like, if you check last time, these NGOs, they fought against Kenny Kunene. They've stopped him from doing what he's been doing. He's been doing a very good thing.
So they stopped him. They stopped him.
They've been fighting against him. In fact, I can say they've stopped him because he's been doing a very good thing, giving back what belongs to people. But now you get people, that's what I'm saying, that, people from the government, they're very bad people. Most of these politicians that we are voting for criminals. That's why, like, when you're casting out your vote, you need to check and make sure, where you are casting your vote at. Because majority of us, we are casting our vote in a sewage.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are casting our vote in a sewage.
Yeah.
Whereby tomorrow you're going to be sick and you want to be blaming the government, but yet you are blaming the government for the things that you yourself, you knew for sure that you are voting for a criminal. We see these criminals, but we vote for them. So, yeah, they've been fighting against Kenny Kunene for the good thing that he's been doing.
That's hectic, eh?
Yeah, it is.
But what's the goal, man? To try to stop people from getting something that belongs to somebody back?
No, if you vote for a criminal, there's nothing good you're gonna expect. There's nothing you're gonna reap out of that, because you are supporting a criminal.
Yeah.
Good sense, good people. Let me say, just say good people. They are never supported in our communities. I remember when Kenny Kunene was doing what he was doing. If you check, if you were in the ground, the community never supported him. They never supported him. They've been against him because why? They are used to criminals. You'll find most of these EFF members, certain members from the ANC, who will come out in a large number to come and block whatever he's doing. And when they're blocking whatever he's doing, these people, they'll be like, we are fighting for you people. And the people on the ground, they don't want to check behind and see that these people, they are not fighting for them. They are fighting for the interests of their own pocket. And this is where we are stuck.
Huh.
So we need our communities to rise up. When we need our communities to start working along with us so that our country can be a better country. If you check right now in Joburg, many shacks are being built unlawfully. Shacks are being built. You go to Sandton, shacks are being built. Go to Sunning Hill, a lot of shacks. You go to Midrand, it's even worse. Shacks are being built unlawfully. And who are the people behind these shacks? It's politicians. Same politicians who are lying to you, saying that they're fighting for you. They're destroying the city. They're destroying this country. Just look at Cape Town, how shacks are being built. And those politicians who've been supporting those shacks to be built, they're not fighting for this. They don't care about this country. They don't love this country. They're not lovers of this country. They're the haters of this country. They're destroying this country by any means necessary, just for the interest of their own pocket. As long as them and their kids are covered, they are okay. They don't care about the neighbor. They don't care about the skin color. They don't care. I hear most of them, they always talk on social media. We know them. They'll be telling you that, no, we have fought for the black people. We are fighting for the black people. They are fooling you. They never fought for you. They fought for their own interest. And they are fighting for their own interest. So that's why, like, people like us, we can never wake up to go and vote. What are you voting for? Voting for the same criminals. You need to make sure that you are voting. When you are voting for the right leaders. Don't wake up to go and vote for criminals. And in that way, our cities will never rise. Just look at the way Joburg it has fallen. Joburg, it's a shame. You walk in the street, there are these boys nowadays, these boys who will strengthen you in the street. You walk in the street, they're going to strengthen you, take everything from you. Or they're going to step you in the street and they take everything from you. And people, they will do nothing. They will just watch you. They will watch you being robbed. They will watch you being stabbed. Nothing they're going to do. They won't even assist you. That it shows you in the system we are living in that as people in the community, we are used to criminal element. We are comfortable with it. And we've got a huge problem. We've got a huge problem. So we need new leaders in the community. We need to change the tables. We need to change these leaders. We need to take the powers away from these leaders that we've been supporting. And we need to put in new people there. People who've got the interest of the people. Not people who've got the interest for their own pocket. That's one thing I can say.
It must be very difficult to do your job.
It's very tough. It's not an easy job. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's not for the weak people.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It takes more than a man to do what I'm doing. Because day in, day out, you know that you are at war. You've got majority of people, majority of criminals, majority of politicians who will come and fight against you, who approaches you day in, day out. Whenever they see you, they approach you. Yeah, so this is what I'm facing day in, day out. Just by making sure that people, they get back what belongs to them.
Do you think South Africa can be clean again?
South Africa can be clean only if people, they can open up their eyes and see that people who are fighting for them, they're not fighting for them. They're fighting for the interest of themselves. You see, if South Africans, they can have a mentality of the Chinese. If you can read about the history of Wall of China, how Wall of China came about. Wall of China came about when people, they were tired of leaders who were making promises. They needed people who do actions. And the leaders who were making promises, they were all killed. And the new leaders rose up. And the leaders that rose up, that's where now the Wall of China began. Because these were the leaders of action. So in today's world, we need leaders of action. We don't need leaders who are talking the same story they've been talking about since 94. From 94, they've been talking about the same story. We don't need those leaders. We need leaders of action. And that's what you are lacking in our community. And leaders of action in our community, people, they don't want them. They fight against them. The community are against them. They are comfortable with criminals who are going to promise them heaven and earth that they will never have. But now, if a new leader who's doing action, they hate that leader. Just like a majority of them, I don't want to lie, they hate me. They hate me with passion. They hate me with passion for doing a good thing. They hate me. Wherever I walk, I know I've got many enemies. I've got majority of enemies. And I'm prepared to fight with those enemies.
When you guys are doing your job, do you guys sometimes find drugs and guns?
Yeah, it's a very common thing. That is a very common thing. Especially in these buildings. Yeah, you'll find those things. That is a very common thing. We've evicted a lot of houses that they are doing drugs. We've evicted a lot of houses that they are manufacturing drugs. And when you evict such kind of buildings or properties, you'll find a lot of people from the law enforcement, a lot of people from certain political parties fighting against you, protecting the drug dealers. We found a lot of them. So these are the problems that we are facing in our community. I've worked with certain officers from certain communities fighting against drug dealers, fighting against people who are selling drugs in the community. And when you are doing such kind of jobs, yeah, you will still find people from certain political parties and so on fighting against the good things that we are doing for the community. And so that's why I'm saying that we need community to revive themselves and support and stop supporting wrong things. They must stop it. They must stop supporting wrong things. Community must rise up. If communities are not rising up, I'm telling you, we are doomed. South Africa will never be good again. South Africa will never be what it is again. 10 years from now, if the system is still the way it is now, South Africa is going to fall. The economy is going to fall. This country will go down all the way to the grave. Because the leaders that we are supporting, that's the direction they're taking it at. They're taking it to the grave. And if none of the community people, if none of them are rising up, this country, it will never be a country again. It will be a country that no one will be proud to visit. Because little by little, if you can check, we are losing tourism in SA. Why are we losing tourism in SA? Because criminals are supported in this country. Yes.
Why do you think communities are not supporting each other?
Communities, they are blinded. Communities, they're like leaders who tell them lies, who promises them lies. They're like leaders who are going to come and promise them heaven and earth. They will promise them a paradise that is not there. There's never been there. Let me say, for example, I come to you and I tell you, I'm going to give you $1 million. And yet you are my neighbor, I say, I'm going to give you $1 million. And yet, when you are hungry, I fail to even give you a piece of bread. How am I going to give you $1 million if I can give you a piece of bread? So we need an intelligent community. We need communities that are very wise, who are going to rise up. We don't need community because our communities are still sleeping. They enjoy that thing where you can check now. Now it's towards the votes. Every day you go in our communities. Yeah, we've got our politicians who are going door to door, promising our people the paradise that they will never have. And our people, they are very happy for that. They like promises. They don't need leaders with action. If you are coming with action, they will fight against you. They will make sure that they will dismantle you. And this is the problem we are facing. This is the problem I also face day in, day out. They don't need a man of action. If I'm a man of action who've been seen more like a hero to certain people, to certain minority people, you are not loved. People, they are never happy when they see me grabbing their house from property hijacker and giving it to the rightful owner. They are never happy. Just like about 2 days back, I was in Pretoria West. In Pretoria West, I've done an eviction there. The property belongs to a certain woman. The woman, she's about 73 years of age. She's got kids and grandkids. They are all, they've been all squatting in one place. And they've got a house. Their house is very huge. But that house, it has been hijacked for years. The community leaders who are in Pretoria West, they've never supported this woman. The court, they've never supported this woman, including certain members of political parties. They've never supported that woman. But now when we came and we gave that woman back a property, we had people in the community, we came to fight against that. They were never happy. They came to fight against that.
The people in the community?
People in the community. And one thing I can say, I like Pretoria West Police Station. I don't want to lie. They're doing a very good job. But Pretoria West Police Station, they are suffering because of certain political leaders in the community who will also go and fight against that police station. It's a very good police station. I wouldn't want to lie. Pretoria West Police Station is one of the best police stations I can say it is there. But that police station, the people whom we call our leaders, they fight against such kind of police stations. When they see police stations that are doing very good, they will come and fight against them by any means necessary. They don't need police stations or police members who are doing a very good job. They fight against them. That's why I'm saying that we've got a problem of communities who support criminals, who will go and fight against leaders who are doing good things in the community. That's one thing I can say. I like one police station as well. It's in Tembisa South. Tembisa South Police Station, it is one of the best police stations I can say that it is there in SA. I like the officers were there. They're very dedicated to their job. But the officers, they suffer the most because of certain political members or certain leaders in the community. They suffer the most. And this is where, because people, they'll be crying saying that cops are not doing their jobs. But people, they don't want to blame the government, saying that the government, they are not doing their job. The reason why cops are suffering the most, the reason why cops are suffering, if you can check in SA, cops are being killed almost each and every day. And these are very good cops. They are killed. Why are they killed? It's because of certain political members in the community. They are killed. And people, they don't want to look at that. So these are the problems that we are having. We do get a lot of officers who want to work along with us. But these officers, they fail to work along with us because of the government system, because of certain government people. So they fail to work along with us. They fail to do good things because of the government that we have voted for or we've been supporting. So, hey, we've got a long way to go as a country.
Jeez, man.
Yes.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. There's a lot to be done. Now, thank you so much, man. Thank you for sharing that information and the work that you do. For somebody who's watching and they've got a property, maybe they've got tenants or maybe they've got a house that's, it has been hijacked, by certain people. How do they reach you?
Okay, you are all over social media, but at the same time again, my numbers are almost everywhere. I don't mind sharing my number.
Okay.
Yeah, my number is 078-181-6666. 078-181-6666. This is the number if people are desperate for an assistance. If people, they need back their properties.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my number. They can reach me and I will gladly assist them and they will have back what belongs to them.
Do you only do property?
No, I'm mostly into property and I also do debt collections. I do a lot of debt collections because you can't be doing property without not doing debt collection. So I do debt collection as well, and I also do crowd control as well. I'm the main guy that, if you check, we've been chasing a lot of zamazamas in the mines. I've done that quite a lot, where we ensure that the mines are not being controlled by criminals, are not being controlled by zamazamas. Yeah, I've chased a lot of zamazamas in the mines. And when there are strikes as well, a lot of people, they call me to come and control the crowd if there are strikes. We control strikes as well. So I do a lot of things.
Thank you so much, my brother.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming. Your work is a dangerous work.
Yeah,
it's not an easy job, actually.
Of course.
You go into zamazamas, you go into properties, crowd control, debt collection.
Yes.
But I'm sure you get the job done.
I never fail. I'm used to do what I do. I never fail. I ensure that people, they get back what belongs to them. Yeah.
That's why they don't like you.
That's why they don't like me. And they will never like me for that.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Sure.